When you're in positions of privileged access, like a systems administrator for these sort of intelligence community agencies, you're exposed to a lot more information on a broader scale than the average employee. And because of that, you see things that may be disturbing, but over the course of a normal person's career, you'd only see one or two of these instances.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that, of course, Ed Snowden, the leaker, speaking to The Guardian television. Welcome back to the Steve Malzberg Show. Joining us once again is our friend, Fox News strategic analyst and best-selling author. His latest book, Hell or Richmond, is Ralph Peters. Hey, Ralph, how are you, sir?
Well, I think I'm a little bit better than Mr. Snowden is right now.
Well,
because more is coming out about him. It turns out that he's part leaker and part liar.
yes, we touched on that earlier. I'm glad you said that, and welcome to the show. Great to talk to you as always, my friend. I know that you have very strong feelings. Of course, you have served in a capacity where you probably feel this more than the average American when someone does this to his country. So talk about what you believe this man's motivations were, what you believe should happen to him.
Well, I think he wants to be a star. I said he admires PFC Bradley Manning. He looks up to Mr. WikiLeaks Julian Assange. And, we live in a culture where, people are copycats and want fame. We've seen that with school shootings and the like, and I think he's in that category. But also, what really should trouble us is how uncritical the journalists from The Guardian and Barton Gellman from the Washington Post, the Pulitzer Prize winner, were. They were fawning over this guy to get the story, and they didn't ask him tough questions. And just give you a few quick examples.
Yeah.
One, this guy, Edward Snowden, claimed that he was authorized he had the authority to impose wiretaps. That's just not true. That's not what systems administrators do, and besides which, he just couldn't do it. I mean, I've been in the intel world. That is just absolutely impossible. There's no way he could have authorized or imposed a wiretap. Couldn't happen. He also made these claims about the wild NSA spying, but he did not give one single concrete example. Not one. No names, nothing. It's just all generalities. He claimed he knew the names and locations of every CIA agent on Earth, literally. No, he didn't. He was working at NSA. NSA is there are so many firewalls between NSA and the CIA clients list, basically, or agents list. It's phenomenal. He may have had some information from the time he did work at the CIA, a little bit, but he basically is puffing himself up. Now, he knew enough to do damage. And if he winds up taking asylum in Russia or China or someplace, he certainly knows enough about our firewalls to truly hurt our country. But for now, the damage he's really done has been, one, to unfairly malign the NSA. I mean, the NSA is just not spying on the average American. It's just not happening. It's not true. And I've been a critic of the NSA when they deserved it, but in this case, they don't. The other thing, which the mainstream media loves, is this NSA scandal, in quotation marks, has taken all the real scandals, like the IRS scandal, Benghazi, the Justice Department's multiple scandals, the Susan Rice nomination. All that's off the front page now.
Absolutely.
Osama, Snowden makes his wild claims, which are a mix of truth and utter fantasy, about the NSA, and President Obama skates over the thin ice.
Yeah, no, he's out there, promoting immigration today with a campaign-style rally, and yesterday it was women's pay with a campaign-style rally. He doesn't even feel the need to talk about it anymore. But what I first noticed about this guy is saying that he had the authority, and you're right, he used that word authority. He had the authority to get into anybody's email. He said, if I had an email address, I could have gone and got the president's email.
It's not true.
Of course not. It can't be.
No, I mean, we really do have a good system of checks and balances. But, he made all these goofy claims about China being our number one trading partner. In fact, it's not. It's behind Mexico and Canada. He just didn't. He's a high school dropout. He knew some things. He's good at tech. Didn't know other things. Claimed, and, he should have stayed in school long enough to get to the civics class, because he made this big thing about the American people should decide about these intelligence programs. The American people do decide. That's why we have elections. we send people to Congress who have oversight over the intelligence community. And for me, a crucial litmus test is Senator Dianne Feinstein. A lot of conservatives don't like her. I respect her enormously. Don't always agree with her, but she's a good litmus test. And she's from San Francisco. She's big on our civil rights, and she came out forcefully saying that these NSA programs are very helpful in stopping terrorists, and they are not aimed at the American public. Now, a Democrat from San Francisco, Dianne Feinstein, defends the NSA. That tells me that the wild claims by Edward Snowden, Mr. Leaker, don't have a lot of credibility. Again, I want to stress, though, he can do real damage because he knows the way around a number of the internal firewalls at NSA. He knows where the accounts are. He never should have had that authority, but obviously Booz Allen Hamilton, the private contractor, didn't vet him at all. He just wanted a warm body in the slot. But so he can do real damage, but just his wilder claims just aren't true.
We're talking to Ralph Peters, a Fox News strategic analyst and best-selling author. His latest Civil War novel is Hell or Richmond. I suggest very strongly that you get it and read it. You won't put it down. Ralph, there's talking about scandals. To its credit, CBS broke a story with John Miller yesterday. NBC actually did it on the Today Show this morning with Chuck Todd. But otherwise, up until that point, all the networks had ignored it completely, and that involves the State Department under Hillary Clinton, where we have reports of eight different abuses, if you will, including one ambassador who reportedly would ditch his security detail, Belgium, and solicit prostitution and underage children. We also have drug claims and others, and so that's the scandal, which is pretty bad. But the cover-up alleged by the people investigating was that they were told by high up in the State Department type people, back off, stop investigating, cut it out, turn it down. I mean, to me, this is going to be, or has the potential to be, huge.
It has the potential, but it won't be because of the media. Mainstream media will kill it. But according to what I've read, our ambassador to Belgium is not a professional diplomat. He is a major Obama donor who raised at least $500,000 for the Obama campaign. And so Hillary Clinton's State Department protected this guy against, they covered up, they crushed the charges that our ambassador in Brussels was going after not only prostitutes, but underage prostitutes.
Yeah, no, and that's going to there's going to be hearings, from what I understand, and if there are hearings, somebody's going to cover it. And again, I wonder if, just like during the Benghazi hearings, the left, especially the females on the committee, are going to start counting the times they mention the name Hillary Clinton, as if they should be talking about somebody else, and say it's a perfect example of how they're trying to thwart her presidential run in 2016, and they should leave her alone.
Yeah, well, it's so ugly in Washington now that you have to wonder if anybody inside the Obama White House would leak information to damage Hillary. Because although there was a Faustian pact apparently that Bill Clinton would support Obama in his last election if Obama supported Hillary in 2016, but Obama doesn't keep promises.
No, we know that. Not to us, and probably not to others either.